it sucks to rely on a GC. So this is exactly how you pull your own permits and become a GC. Now, I've been a GC for over a decade, pulled hundreds of permits, and I'm going to show you the 3 ways that you can do it yourself. Now, I also strongly suggest that if you're a real estate investor like I am, that you figure out how to get over this step, because really a house flipping or house investing company is simply a construction company. You get customers in a little bit of a different way, i.e. by buying a house, and you collect your final paycheck in a little bit of a different way, i.e. selling that house or refinancing it. But the rest is just construction. Biggest holdup, biggest obstacle in construction is overpaying for a general contractor who does not have your same interest in mind. Scary stuff, I know. Overcome the hurdle. But anyway, let's go with the first way to get permits is, of course, to hire a general contractor. They probably know the mechanical, electrical, plumbing, people that need to pull permits underneath theirs. Go back to the first video in this series and you can learn all about the different permits that need to get pulled and in what order inspections happen. But that is, of course, the classic way. Hire a general contractor. But what this video is mainly about is how you become the general contractor. So the person that you hired to do the work would be an all-arounder, as we call them. Okay, these are people who do, whatever, the floors, the paint, the drywall, or you might have different subs for different things, but you're able to hire the subs directly. And so you would have a list of subs. We talk about this all the time in my content, but you would also need to have somebody who could pull mechanical, electrical, and plumbing permits underneath you, unless you took the next steps, which I have actually to get my mechanical, electrical, plumbing licenses. That is really a very advanced step. The GC I did for years before I took the step of actually having the mechanical, electrical, plumbing. So here's how you do it. First way is simple enough, and it works in almost all municipalities that I've been in. As I've said in all these videos, things are different per municipality, but homeowner permits. On your own house, you can work as the GC. Some municipalities will have like a small test that you have to take, but for the most part, you can pull your own permits. And this would be limited though, because this is intended for you to do a project on your own house. So there are some loopholes that you would likely need to have to make this work, because it's not intended for you to do it on a flip house. Okay, but if you're a house hacker, that looks like you're living in the house. Or if you're doing a live-in flip as your first flip or an investment opportunity, that would look like it was your primary residence. Obviously, you would keep it that way. Okay, but if you buy it in an LLC, no longer can you pull homeowner permits in most municipalities. Okay, so this one dries out pretty quickly. And also, when I was trying to do it all through homeowner permits, I was like, okay, whatever, I'll live in flip multiple houses per year, whatever, I don't really care. However, they usually have limits of like you can only do one per year or one every 2 years. And so this gets limited fast, but might be a good way to start, at least get some education, some experience. Next is the consultative route, the consultation route. And this is the route that a lot of people use. They usually don't use it or call it the consultative route. What they call it instead is, hey, I'm going to give that guy $1,000 to pull a permit for me. Okay. So that happens often, guys. In fact, you're going to find out that a lot of the contractors that you hire that pull permits, if you actually looked at the permit that they pulled, it's not under their name. It's because they can't pull permits. They paid another guy to pull the permit for them. Okay. Now, that's not good. In fact, that's super dumb of the person that is pulling the permit, because all the liability is on them. Okay. However, some contractors you might be able to have a nice agreement with that would be more of like, I want to pay you as a consultant. And what a consultant in this case would do is they would come to the job site, they would help you make the plan, and then you might personally carry out that plan with your own hands or hiring contractors to carry out that plan. And then your consultant would come in and they would look at the work that was done and say, yeah, this is good. That would pass code. This is exactly what I wanted done. Great. I'm going to go ahead and call in the inspection. Okay, so basically what has happened is that you've worked for that general contractor. And that is on the up and up. They basically managed you to do the work. What's the difference between you doing the work and them hiring a different contractor to do the work? Okay, and so that is the consultative route done correctly. And that can be done at scale. And truly, I did that for many years before I actually went out and got my general contractor's license myself and was able to pull my own permits. In fact, if I'm being totally honest about it, as I told you when I was back in Denver, it took like all day to get permits. And there was a contractor who hated doing that. And I said I'd do it for him if he let me hold his license and pull my own permits. And there you go. Cool stuff. All right. Same thing. He would look at the stuff for me. He was my consultant in a sloppier way. By the way, this was over a decade ago, so statute of limitations. Now, so that's the that route would work as a GC, electrician, mechanical, and plumbing. And I'll tell you, like the early flips that I did that for all of the trades, and that's how I was able to do work myself, build whole houses by myself, or do full pop tops by myself, is because I would hire consultants. That was part of my budget, and that's truly how I learned how to do things. Finally, there is actually getting the GC license yourself. That probably sounds daunting, okay, because it seems like you need to know all these things. But here's the thing. Let's talk about just the GC test. Okay, the test is not even set up in a way that they expect you to memorize these thick books, or actually there's a stack of different books. But they don't expect you to memorize all those things. They expect you to understand when a need to look up something like for an inspection is there. Like you understand that, that deck, I'm building a deck. There's things with the railings and the stairs. There's rules there. I don't remember what they are. What is it? 7 inches, 11 inches, rise, run. I don't know. There's something about that. And I know that there's a section about in the framing section, in the deck section. I know where that stuff is. So they expect you to have that triggering, and they expect you to know how to find the stuff. So it's an open book test, and they ask a question like, hey, what's the rise and the run parameters of a staircase? And you would know where to look for it and put in the right answer, right? So they don't expect you to memorize all those things. They expect what I just told you. Now, after experience doing this stuff, you start to recall more of that. And I'm telling you, there's a huge difference between a contractor who's been through a lot of inspections and one who hasn't, because they know that things like that are supposed to be done. I've seen some jacked up stuff on job sites. Okay, but because there's a lookup thing, it's not like you need the knowledge. You just need to get to know the book, and then you can go take the test and you can pass it. Even better is there's these companies out there who I don't even know how they do it, but I believe that they're the greatest companies out there. I forget the names, but they do this in multiple states, probably done in your state, where I think so basically the test that you take is like, I think it's 100 questions. Okay, but it's from a pool of, let's say, 1,000 questions. So the 1,000 questions get picked at random. There's actually like different sections. So there might be 10 questions out of the 100 on framing stuff. So framing questions, there's 100 different questions. They select the 10 questions at random. You see what I'm saying here. But anyway, they're randomly chosen. I think that these companies go out there and they pay people to go take the test and memorize as many questions as they can verbatim with the answers verbatim, because they're not different. You know, the pool of 1,000 questions they have is the same every time. And I don't know how your brain works, but I know how my brain works. That is, if I've seen the question before and seen the multiple choice, I know the answer immediately. So this company compiles, they have all 1,000 questions of the pool, and you just take practice tests. So I just sit there and take practice tests for a few weeks until, I had it memorized. And anyway, it's hilarious because, there's like 11 books that the test is over. I never opened any of them the first time. And I took all the practice tests, and, everybody goes in there with their books ready to take this 4-hour-long test. It's a 4-hour-long test. And, I had done all the practice tests and just memorized the stuff and went in there, took the test, took like 20 minutes. I had no books and, of course, passed. And yeah, well, I think it's just the greatest thing in the world. That doesn't mean I don't know those things. I learned a different way, and I still have those books. And I am serious about the fact that people who have gone through inspections a lot are better contractors. Okay, they know things. Like they become better because you can't get around. You can't cut corners because if you've been through the inspections, you know how it's supposed to be done. And so I don't trust other people to have been through those. I certainly don't want to rely on general contractors who, if they have you caught in a corner, might up their prices on you. You got to wait for them to go do other things. I want to control all of that because my business is a construction business. House flipping, burr investing is a construction business. You get customers a different way and you get your final paycheck a different way, but ultimately it is just running a construction company. Why would you not own the most important piece of the most important thing? It makes no sense to me. I talk about these kind of things all the time in my free, for now, school community. It's in the link in the description. Check it out. And after you've done that, watch this video right here. See you guys soon.